7 dark psychology tricks they use on you every day. Every single day, millions of invisible strings pull at your decisions and shape your reality. You wake up believing you make your own choices, but the architects of attention designed your environment to steer you without raising an alarm. These are not old parlor games from decades past. They are fresh tactics engineered for 2026. They operate in your feeds, your conversations, and your daily routines. You don't spot them because they wear the mask of normalcy. They hide behind friendly smiles, helpful notifications, and seemingly casual comments. Today, I reveal 7 dark psychology tricks they use on you every day. You will learn exactly how they work, watch the real-life examples, and master the defenses that keep your mind locked down. People miss these tricks because brain overload creates a blind spot. Your cognitive load maxes out when screens compete for attention and deadlines compete for focus. The brain skips analysis when it faces a mountain of decisions. It grabs heuristics instead of running deep logic. Manipulators know this limit well. They time their hooks when your mental energy drops. They strike after meals late at night or right when you roll out of bed. The pace of modern life forces you into autopilot mode. You scan instead of read, you swipe instead of study, you react instead of reflect. This speed creates perfect cover. The tactic needs to blink past your conscious filters before your critical thinking wakes up. You trust routine and you trust familiar faces. That trust becomes the door they walk through. You don't question the barista who asks how you feel before offering an upgrade. You don't doubt the coworker who frames a request as a favor. You accept default options because opting out feels like extra work. That fatigue is the exact weapon they wield. The first trick is the push-pull method. Marketers, influencers, and even close friends use it to create a false emotional roller coaster. They give you a dose of warmth, then pull it away without warning. You chase that approval because intermittent rewards hijack your dopamine system. You text first, you adjust your plans, and you lower your standards just to get back that initial warmth. A real-world look shows this clearly. Brands drop a limited offer, then repeat it under a new name. You feel urgent when they say stock runs low, then they reopen the cart hours after you give up. The same pattern shows up in workplace feedback. Your manager praises you in public, then delivers a cold critique in private. You work harder to win back the praise because you can't predict when the next hit arrives. You give them control over your emotions, and they set the price. The second trick is social proof manipulation. Humans evolved to track the crowd because safety lived in the herd. Algorithms exploit that instantly. You see counts and rankings everywhere. Those numbers often tell a fabricated story. You scroll through a video with millions of views and assume quality guarantees value. You ignore bot networks that inflate those counts before content peaks. Local vendors pay reviewers to flood their page with glowing comments. You walk in expecting a premium experience and get average service at high costs. The crowd vote never actually existed. Platforms design layouts that hide negative feedback behind extra taps. You swipe past the 1-star comment because 5-star ratings sit at the top. Your brain reads the ratio and skips your own judgment. You hand your opinion to strangers. The third trick is the gaslight loop. This does not look like violence, it looks like concern. The operator asks you to remember things differently than they happened. They rewrite shared history in small increments. You doubt your memory because they state their version with absolute calm. They add details that sound plausible but never check out. You question yourself instead of demanding proof. A partner might say they told you clearly about changed travel plans. You check your chat history and see nothing. You still apologize because the conflict feels heavier than doubt. At work, a supervisor assigns a task, then claims they never promised that deadline. You miss the target and take blame for poor time management. You learn to doubt internal alarms because they rewired your trust meter. You become easier to guide when you stop trusting your notes. The fourth trick is the reciprocity trap. Givers always expect something back. The trap relies on your desire to balance social debt. Someone hands you a small free sample, then watches for your weakness. You accept the free item and feel obligated to return the favor. You don't realize they engineered that obligation from the start. In offices, this shows up as unsolicited help that carries hidden conditions. A colleague fixes your spreadsheet, then asks you to cover their shift during your week off. In marketing, you get a free guide that locks you into a trial. You download it, feel grateful, and enter details without reading terms. The system counts on your honesty. They know you won't skip repayment because you trained yourself to honor kindness. They turn your compass against you. The fifth trick is the mirror effect. People trust those who resemble them. Conversation artists copy your pace, your breathing, and your exact phrasing. They bounce back your words in a slightly different tone to make you feel understood. You assume shared values when you hear your own reflection. A sales rep matches your skepticism, then uses your own phrases to close. You say you need more data, and they reply that you need exactly that. You hear agreeable noise instead of a real pitch. In social settings, you meet someone who shares every opinion you hold. You feel connection and lower your guard. Later, you notice their favorites never stray beyond your list. They project your preferences back at you until you agree to the plan. The sixth trick is information withholding. Power comes from controlling what others know. You do not need lies to manipulate. You only need silence. Managers release partial updates to keep teams guessing. Friends share half stories to shift opinion without showing context. You make choices based on incomplete maps and blame yourself for wrong turns. A company announces a feature but hides upfront charges until the final screen. You spend time customizing options, then see real costs. Your time investment traps you in the flow. In relationships, one person drops hints about dissatisfaction but never names the problem. The other person ruminates over past mistakes. The first person holds the real reason and watches. You chase answers that never arrive. The seventh trick is algorithmic priming. This one runs your screens. Platforms track every pause and every hover. They feed micro-content that prepares your mood before a sales pitch arrives. You watch clips about financial struggles, then see an ad for a loan. You never connect the dots because the system plants seeds earlier. They show success stories right before a course pitch, so your ego leans toward impulse. They serve comfort clips when you feel stressed, so you lower focus on terms. The feed does not reflect you. It builds you. You think you browse freely while the system shapes your purchases. You chase loops that reinforce their goals, not your needs. Algorithms choose what appears in sight. That choice decides your wallet. You now carry the blueprint. Apply countermoves and finish the battle. Use the pause rule. When any message triggers urgency, you stop breathing. You count to 10. You break the automatic reaction cycle. You ask if the timing matches your real needs or their quota. You separate emotion from logic before committing. Verify claims with outside data. You check multiple sources before trusting numbers. Ignore crowd charts and read the print. Reject intermittent rewards by setting limits. When someone pushes, then pulls, you step away completely. Refuse to chase approval that fades. Demand transparent terms before accepting free offers. If a favor carries strings, you return it uncompleted. Stop feeling guilty about opting out. State clearly what you will cover. Call out gaslighting by keeping written records of every agreement. Save chats and emails. Share notes out loud before discussions escalate. Break the mirror by asking dissent. Force others to state true beliefs. Demand full packages. Walk away from processes that hide costs. Block priming by curating input. Turn off autoplay. Reset feeds weekly. Refuse to let screens heat desires. Defending your mind demands daily practice. You won't become invincible overnight, but you build resilience that outlasts manipulation. You train focus like a muscle. You reject quick hits. You measure value against your standards, not trending lists. Protect attention because time never returns. Set strict limits on shared focus. Leave room for doubt when everything seems perfect. Ask who benefits whenever you feel pushed. That question cuts noise and reveals true intent. Reclaim space when you recognize the hook early. You only need to control your next move. If you want to make videos like this yourself, check the link in the description. I use that tool for my entire workflow, and it saves hours every week. The world moves fast and tricks evolve faster. You don't need to fight every battle. You recognize the field and walk your path. You trust records, your rhythm, and your reason. Close doors that lead to confusion. Open windows that show clear views. Make choices that match values instead of chasing echoes. Remember, every urgent ping serves someone else's timeline. Set your clock and follow signals. Keep your mind sharp and boundaries firm. Don't let strangers write your script. Direct every scene yourself. Step out of the loop, take back agenda, and live on terms. The tricks chase scrolls, but you walk free. If you want to make videos like this yourself, check the link in the description. I use that tool for my entire workflow, and it saves hours every week. Subscribe if you want more of these breakdowns, and share this with someone you think needs to hear it. They probably do.